it's the Scorpio Stellium, your no bullshit tarot card reader. We're going to take a look at your predictions for the week of November 1st through 7th. You know how I do it. I show you how I get to the answers I get to. I tell you what the meanings of the cards are along the way so you learn a little bit. I pull the astrology into it as well. And at the end, we do a pick a card for what your message that you need to hear this week is. So stay tuned for the end of it because that's important. Okay, Libra, what do I have for you? Some unbalanced energy starting out with quite a few reversals. Okay, Strength reversed is our first card here. So what this tells me is that you don't feel like you can do it right now. It's just like you're trying to summon up the energy to get shit done, and there's something in front of you that you need to do, and you just don't want to do it this week. It's probably learning something. It could be training. It could be some research. It's just some figuring out that you have to do, and it's going to require some effort on your part. With the reverse page of Pentacles upright, it's about learning things. It's about research. It's about training and school and studying and all of that kind of stuff. And we have it reversed here, so it's showing like you just don't feel it right now. You're just like, I don't want to. I don't feel like it. And the reversed Wheel of Fortune is not such a great idea to put that off. Upright, the Wheel of Fortune is good things happening. It is fate turning in your direction. You know, it's like the sun smiling upon you, okay? But we have it reversed here. This is like, you're setting something in motion that you're gonna not want to deal with later on. So it's like a little warning here that I know you might not feel it right now, but it's like, you know, drink some extra coffee, get some extra sleep, and try to just like put your nose to the grindstone because this has to get done. You're not gonna like the consequences if it's not. And then we have the reversed World card next. Okay, so this here is something that's not coming to completion. I think there's something that you've been trying to finish up, to tie up loose ends. There's maybe some closure that you need. But whatever this is, it feels like something is holding you back from getting to that point that you're trying to get to. We have the Nine of Wands next to it. This card is the Moon in Sagittarius. It feels to me that we've got some defensiveness, some worry, it's like I don't want to fight this battle, so there may be some avoidance as well, and that's perhaps why you're not getting the completion that you need. Is you might be avoiding something. And the reverse tower pretty much sums this up. The reverse tower is about trying to avoid a disaster. Upright, it is the full-blown disaster. And here it's like you're trying to either avoid it or you're trying to do some damage control. This is associated with Mars, and that planet is how you fuck and how you fight. I'm waiting for y'all to start saying it along with my videos because I say it so much because it's how you remember, right? Mars is the warrior planet. It's how we go after what we want, the engine in your car. And this planet does not really make any bones about how it goes about getting what it wants. So here we have it reversed. So we have that energy turned down, but it's still there. It's still like we're trying to not let things get too wildly out of control. And I think that a lot of this, because I have so many reversals, it feels like avoidance. And avoidance is not going to actually prevent you from having to deal with it. It's like using a credit card. You're going to have to deal with it later plus interest. And we have the reverse Page of Wands. So see all of these reversals, especially these Wands cards there, these fire associated cards, that fire energy behind the Wands, behind like the Strength card, fire energy is all like passion and doing and initiative. It's fire. You know, it can get out of control sometimes, but hell, it's going to get it done. And you have this reverse. So it's like the page is saying that you are not able to get that fire built up in you. It's also being a little fearful. It's like, I don't want to deal with something. I don't want to go on this little, I don't know, I don't want to say adventure. Upright, I usually am like, this is a new adventure, but you know, it's discovering something new. You're like, I don't want to know what's new. I don't want to know what's around the other corner. I just want to like stay here in my little hidey hole this week. I feel you. I kind of want to stay in my little hidey hole this week too, with the weather changing and everything. It kind of throws us all off. But what you need to actually do is down here at the spread, because now we have action-oriented cards at the end. So either it's giving you advice or it's telling you already what you're going to be putting in place. And that is standing your ground and not giving up on something. The Seven of Wands is this, I staked my claim and by God, I'm not going to let it go. This is Mars energy again. It's Mars and Leo. Okay, so it's putting its heart and soul in it because Leo is ruled by the heart. So you're putting your heart and soul into something and you're going to stand for it. You're not going to let it just, you know, bygones be bygones, or at least this is the advice of what you need to do. And also it comes down to making a decision. Reverse Two of Swords. Decisions have to be made here. And that's something that I know it can be challenging. You don't want to make the wrong decision. And so sometimes we avoid it entirely so that we don't make the wrong decision. But some decision has to be come to this week. It cannot be held off any longer, or you're going to start getting this upright, the Tower. It's going to be the disaster. So by avoiding it, it's only going to make that worse. So let's start clarifying about what types of issues you may be dealing with. You may already know, but I'm going to clarify anyway. Reversed Strength is the first card that I'm going to do that with. Reverse Strength. What else do we need to know about feeling like we just don't have the energy? The Star. Okay, so the Star is hope. The Star is healing. Are you putting off your healing for something? Is there a counseling appointment that you need to make? Is there a phone call that you need to make? Is there something that you need to do that's good for you, some self-care, that it feels like you don't even have the energy to do that? You know, I know that we can get in these slumps where it's like, we don't want to deal with any of the shit. We don't want to do anything. And that's how this is going right now. That's how this reading is hitting me. The reverse Page of Pentacles. Okay, what do you not want to look into further? Seven of Coins. So this seems work related. This seems financial related, where you might have invested into something and you now feel like it may not be paying off. You're a little worried about how it's going to pay off, whatever you've put your energy into. There's some fear around that. Let's look at the reverse Wheel of Fortune. Okay, I will take those. Yes, I will. Okay. The Chariot and the Seven of Cups. Okay. Living in a fantasy and not moving forward isn't going to do you any good. You need to be like the Chariot here, okay, associated with Cancer. You're going to push forward. You're going to be victorious. You're not going to let your emotions rule you. And you also cannot live in a fantasy world and pretend that nothing is going to come back up and bite you in the ass if you don't deal with it. So that's what I'm seeing here. I think that you may be ruminating on some past shit instead of handling your present stuff. That's going to be a problem. What are you defensive about? What are you maybe a little paranoid about? Let's look at the Nine of Wands here in the middle of the spread, because that's quite an important card. The one that is right in the middle. Okay, didn't fall. Okay, Three of Swords. Now we're getting a different story. We're getting some more information. Heartache, sorrow, somebody who really, really hurt you, or some situation that you were very hurt in, and you're still suffering. Your heart's still broken. And so you have not chosen to, you don't want to act. You don't want to do anything that is going to push you further. You know, it's not, you don't want to hurt anymore. So you're kind of holding off on something because it feels like it's going to hurt more. And that's what I see with all these reversals, is delays and trying to hold off and trying to avoid, because here we go. We don't want to hurt anymore. The reverse Tower. This is that damage control, that trying to not have the disaster happen. Okay. The Princess of Wands. So we see some area here. It's reversed. It was right here. Same kind of card, different deck. We see that's the energy of starting something new that you don't want to do right now. Is somebody coming into your life, or is it time to start dating again? Is it time to start looking for a new job? Is it time to move? You know, what's the thing that's new that you are afraid to do? Because that's really what needs to be done, or you need to at least make a decision about, okay? That's going to help you. Let's see. Also the Aeon, which is judgment, okay? This is hearing a call, okay? Hearing the call and knowing what you need to do. I do think that in your heart, you know exactly what you need to be doing. You just don't want to handle it yet. And this is like saying, here's the final week that you have. Time's up. It's got to be handled. Now we've got the reverse 2. Ooh, dropping cards. Okay, reverse 2 of Swords. Making a decision. Decisions have to be made. You might not like the decision. Okay, has to do with some betrayal because of the 10 of Swords. Has to do with some feeling maybe pushed out, feeling like you're not included or you don't belong or you were betrayed or you were left behind. And the World card again. So there's completion. It's coming up twice, okay? We are getting to the point where this is almost over, okay? This whole episode is almost over. And I know that the ending can be scary. It can be scary to close the door on something for good, but it is time. It is time to do that. I mean, I know. I've been there too. I'm going to pull a couple cards for love. Specifically, what do you need to know about love this week? What does Libra need to know about love this week? I'm going to pull 3 cards. Or the whole deck. I could do the whole deck. It's possible. What does Libra need to know about love this week? We've got 1. So we've got the 4 of Wands, which is Venus in Aries. This is a reconciliation, a homecoming in some area of love. We also have the 6 of Wands. That's a victory coming for you. Okay. And also the 2 of Swords. So decisions being made. Decisions that need to be made. So what could you possibly get here? Okay. It looks like if you're willing to heal, if you're willing to give something a chance, if you're willing to let it come to its natural conclusion and face it, then you could actually have all of this. You could have the reconciliations. You can have the victory in love. If you just make a decision, that's what is needed right now. And I know it's difficult, like I said, but something has to be done. We cannot continue in our inaction anymore. So let's do your pick a card for what message you need to hear this week. I will pull 3 cards out and I want you to just pick one because all the messages may resonate. I get people all the time go, oh, but you know, they all resonated or that one resonated too. And I'm like, okay, fine, but you chose one card. That card chose you. That's the message that you need to hear. So let's see, messages for Libra. What does Libra need to hear this week? What does Libra need to hear this week? Oh, drop them all. Okay, we've got card 1, card 2, and card 3. 1, 2, 3. You know how to pause, so I'm going to jump right into it. If you chose card number 1, this is the 3 of Wands. Making some plans for your future. Some plans particularly in business. It's going to be in your career, in areas that you make your money, that you also have a passion for. It's time to make some new plans. So if you've been thinking about starting a side hustle or your own business or branching off on your own or expanding a business, or even going back to school, those plans need to start taking form this week. This is the time, okay? If you chose card number 2, we have the Page of Cups. This is a message of love for you. This can be now when I say the word proposal, I'm not meaning like somebody necessarily getting down on one knee. For some of you, that may be the case, but this is in any case some type of proposal or message of love. It can be an invitation to go out to dinner. It can be a text message that you've been waiting to hear. It is some type of sweet love message where somebody is offering love to you this week. So that's coming for you. And for card 3, we have Judgment. Okay, it's time to pay attention to that call. We saw this a lot in the main reading, and this is coming up, underlining it and highlighting it for you. You have to pay attention to this thing that you know in your heart it's time to do. It's judgment time, you know, it's judgment day. It's time to make a decision and see where things are going to land. You may be pleasantly surprised. I know that there's probably some fear involved with this and fearing making the wrong decision or what could come out of this decision. But having the Judgment card here is a reassurance to you that everything is going to come out how it's meant to come out, how fate wants it to come out for you. Okay, Libra, you have a great week. I'll see you again next week.